Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Robert Weichelt with EXP for another episode of Weichelt Wednesday with my dear friend, Cathy Ryan, or should I say Coach Cathy Ryan.
Hey.
Woo-hoo. So Cathy, thanks so much for jumping on Weichelt Wednesday.
Oh, my pleasure.
Let's get right into it. Who's Cathy Ryan?
Who's Cathy Ryan? Well, Cathy Ryan, I've been a realtor now for 29 years. Worked a lot of different markets. It's been, a wonderful journey. I've been married now to my wonderful husband for 27 years. And we have one son who right now we're so proud of him because I went from soccer mom to Navy mom in a heartbeat. And we are Navy parents of a petty officer. So he got promoted. So we're so excited.
Awesome. That is awesome. I love it. That's cool. So you've got all that going on. So tell us about your real estate career. Tell me what's going on there.
My real estate career, it has had a lot of peaks and valleys. It's been one of those roller coaster rides. When I got into real estate, and this is why I'm so passionate about training and inspiring new agents, is because I was handed a listing agreement, which was 2 pages. I'm dating myself now. 2 pages and a purchase agreement that was mostly fill-in. It didn't have the check boxes that we have today, and a phone book. And I was told, okay, read these over and go make phone calls, go find out who wants to sell or buy. That was my training.
I remember those days so well.
And I floundered in my career for the first 5 years. My husband kept telling me, he goes, you need to do something because you're not bringing in any money. You need to go get a real job. And I was like, nope, this is my job. This is my business. I'm bound and determined to make it work. And it wasn't until I changed brokers and I went to a Remax broker. And it was Beryl Samarak who took me under her wing. I love her to this day. She was one of the best brokers I've had. And she taught me how to get the business.
That's what mentors do. So let's go right into it. You're a mentor, you're a coach. Yes. Tell us about your coaching.
Well, I am the new cash offers coach for our group. And it's about, I help people increase their listing inventory by leading with cash offers. Today, a lot of homeowners with all the other competition that we have out there with Open Door and OfferPad. And now we can compete with them by offering sellers choices. And one of those choices is a cash offer. It may not work for everybody, but it starts the conversation. And that's what we're looking for.
And you know what's interesting? It starts with an opportunity because a cash solution, if you don't have the cash solution, you may be missing some listing appointments because a lot of sellers think initially they want a cash offer, but we're finding when we sit down with them, they're not netting as much as they can. And therefore we have the online offers platform. So what we're doing is we're providing sellers with options because every seller I've ever met wants options. So with that said, let's talk about if we can narrow it down. I know we've got a lot of great stuff on our team. We've got 23 coaches and counting. We've got listing tools, buyer tools, CRMs. We've got so many tools. If you could narrow down the top 3 things that agents tuning into this can take advantage of, whether it be the online offers platform, the cash solutions, what are 3 things that you would like to share that you're using in your business?
Well, the number one thing is the cash offers. And then I pivot to the listing and using the online offers platform. That online offers platform is a game changer in the real estate market. And it's such a great tool for the buyer as well as it is for the seller. So, and the other thing that I'm excited for about our group is whatever you need, the tool is there. If you're looking to build a team, there's a coach for that. If you're looking to get into REO, there's a coach for that. If you want to do commercial, there's a coach for that. That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny that you say that. I talk to agents every day, all from all over the world, all over the country. And the common theme, Cathy, is that the agents don't feel like they have the tools where they're currently at. They don't feel like they have the listing tools. I'm more specifically looking for more listing tools, and we've got so many listing tools. It's amazing. So obviously the cash offers where you're the coach, and thank you so much for all you do with that.
Oh, my pleasure.
The online offers platform, which I'm the coach for that.
Yep.
But you mentioned we've got so many coaches for every facet of real estate, Instagram, CRM, you name it, we got it. So Cathy, awesome talking with you. What I'd like to ask you before we get out of here, what's the message that you want to tell the agent that's tuning into this? What would you like to say to them?
Is that, you need to look at all your options. You just can't sit there in your current brokerage and look, okay, is this all there is? Because there's not. One thing that led me to EXP was our revenue share. In my career, I've had 3 life events that have caused me not to be able to work. And the last one was a car accident that I wound up in bankruptcy. So with the revenue share, building that passive income, that's what brought me to EXP. And for my next life event, that I'll have income coming in if I can't go out there and produce.
And that's something that most agents don't realize. What happens if some event happens where you're not able to go show homes or list properties? What happens then? That's a big deal. That just gave me goosebumps because I just retired my wife because of my rev share. That people don't understand the dynamics of that. What other things would you want to bring up that just give you goosebumps? What
gives me goosebumps is how are you gonna retire? What's your exit strategy from real estate? Those of us that make a career, we're taught you take X amount of dollars to put in savings, you take X amount of dollars to put in your retirement, take X amount of dollars from each commission to put back in your business. But in reality, you need to figure that out and how much money you need to retire on. And are you able to save $1 to $2 million and have that in a bank account or an investment account? You sure, put it in the stock market, you may lose half of it.
Sure.
So, what's your exit strategy? And it goes back to the rev share. Yeah. The rev share is retirement and it's willable.
Yep, absolutely. You know what?
It goes onto your ears.
It is just amazing. We're changing lives and just having so much fun doing it. We're giving our agents tools to do more business. We're giving them tools to have an exit strategy. Because I tell you what, when I'm 80 years old, I don't want to be showing property. Right. So I'll tell you what, Cathy, we could go on forever, but let me just say by thanking you so much for your time, your dedication to helping coach, train, and mentor agents in the iBuyer space, in the cash offer space. Thank you so much for everything you do. You're just a blessing, and our group is just so blessed to have you doing that. And I thank you for your time. This is Robert Weichelt for another episode of Weichelt Wednesday with my good friend, Cathy Ryan. Cathy, thank you.
Bye, guys.